Nice to see you again. So we see again in May this year, 2023. Then gaming, and then a lot of changes this year. So gaming means HDMI 2.1 444. It means game bar experience, so all the information you have in one place to see what is available and what works. Then VRR support, that you don't face stutter, judder, you don't have tearing. And then also input lag, which is key for different signals. But then we have also maths calculation for you, how it works, and then what is the logic behind. But before, 4 major improvements. New layout of the game bar, as we talk about this game accelerator 240, that the 240 Full HD signal can be also sent to the TV set. FreeSync Premium Pro, so all products are approved, and even some of the products from the past gets FreeSync Premium Pro. And then input lag we really master. So the math behind the input lag is here. And then you can also calculate it on your calculator in a very simple way. So generally we have frame timing in milliseconds. So then it takes, for example, for 120 frames, 8.3 milliseconds to refresh the frame. But the frame is made of blanking part and then the frame part. So you see that 8.3 is split to 0.3 and then 8 milliseconds on the screen. Then we have processing delay, which generally takes around 200 lines, as we have to carry the signal from the input to the panel. And then we come to the top left corner. That's why in many cases you can have 1 millisecond input lag, but it is in top left corner for some specific cases. Then we have mid of the screen, the area where you usually measure. So that's why in a European way we talk about 5 milliseconds or 5 point something. And then you can have also impact coming from local dimming, as especially in 120, 144 we have slight milliseconds delay coming from the adaptation of it. But on the movie side you see that in general the delay, the processing time is around 8 frames. We need this time to do scaling, temporary noise reduction, and so on. So it takes time inside to process the picture. VRR story everyone is talking about, but there are a lot of stories also about it. So we have everything started from VSync, vertical sync. But key issue with vertical sync was stutter or judder, because you see that in many cases when PC was unable to render or game console was unable to render, so you were sitting twice the same frame, and that's why motion was not very smooth. So then the question how to solve it, one is HDMI VRR, which is solving this, or another one is FreeSync Premium Pro or FreeSync Premium. But in principle, the reason to do it is the same. There are only some technical differences between both. When you just try to play and set up consoles, so then we have consoles with us, we can show you keys to correctly do it, and then correctly calibrate maximum brightness and then black level in the game console, either in Xbox or in PS5. And then also if you connect our products, you will see that these products are fully compatible. But let's talk about the story of resolution and rendering on the screen. So let's take Flight Simulator as an example, and then you can play, you can try to land, and then the story starts when you have to see the 4 lights, red lights on the right, because you know that your glide is correct. And then let's look how you see it in UHD. So this is the look from the cockpit. Everything is sharp, but then you can try to believe that you can play in 144 and upscale it by your GPU. So you see it here. The cockpit is not so sharp. And then you start to discover that if you are far from the runway, you don't see details on the runway, even if you put glasses on your nose, because anyway, it is only a matter of upscaling. Here you start to see the difference between native and then not native. You see, this one is sharp, and the one over there is not sharp. It's just screenshot taken from the PC in different settings. So that's why this upscaling, DLSS, and so on, it works perfectly for standard games, but for games where you need the details and where one dot makes the importance, you start to discover that anyway, you have to play in UHD, and then if you play on 75 or 85, it's just like the size of the cockpit. So then it's not anymore past experience from the small monitor, but it's just slightly better solution. So